For over 2 decades, I've dedicated my life to helping people over 50 combat diabetes. And after all this time, one thing still astounds me. So many of you have been misled. You've been told to fear the very foods you love, bread, rice, potatoes, as if they were poison. You've cut them out completely, thinking it's the only path to a healthy life. But I'm here to tell you a truth that nobody else is. It's not the carbs themselves that are draining your energy. That might be a shock, but the real secret lies in how you eat them. Even worse, the real damage isn't just physical. It's how those sugar spikes silently hijack your emotions. The real struggle begins in your mind. One moment you're fine, and the next you're lashing out at your family, losing focus, and spiraling into frustration. That's not just stress. That's the constant swing of unstable blood sugar ruining your mood, day after day. Recent data from the CDC shows that over 25% of adults over 65 in the US have diabetes, and more than half don't even know it. Now, consider that blood sugar swings are directly linked to increased anxiety, depression, and irritability. It's a recipe for disaster, but it doesn't have to be this way. You don't need to live in fear of your food. There's a smarter, safer, and faster way for people with diabetes over 50 to enjoy carbs without wrecking their mood or their life. If you're tired of feeling exhausted, moody, and scared of your plate, then hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe. What I'm about to share could change how you eat and feel forever. Let's dive in. 1. Turn your fridge into a blood sugar weapon. What if I told you the answer to your blood sugar problem isn't in a new pill or some magical supplement, but right there in your fridge? I know it sounds crazy. For so long, you've been told that if you have diabetes, especially after 50, carbs are the enemy. Bread is out. Rice is forbidden. Don't even look at potatoes. But how can anyone live like that? Constantly eating in fear, dreading every meal, and repeating the same tired cycle. It's stressful. I don't want you to have to miss out on your favorite dishes or stick to an impossibly strict diet. So, let me tell you about something that could change everything. There's a simple, powerful, and completely natural scientific trick. It's called resistant starch. I believe it might just be the fastest way for people over 50 with diabetes to reclaim the joy of eating without sending their blood sugar into chaos. Here's how it works. When you cook starchy foods like rice, pasta, or potatoes, and then cool them in the fridge overnight, some of the starch transforms. It becomes something your body can't digest like regular carbs. It resists digestion, which slows the release of glucose and feeds your gut like fiber. The result? Up to 40% fewer blood sugar spikes. You heard that right. Even better, when you reheat the food, the magic stays. Leftovers aren't just convenient, they're a metabolic gift. Ever felt calmer, lighter, or more stable after eating last night's dinner? That's not your imagination. That's chemistry working in your favor. Why hasn't anyone told you this before? Why are we still living in fear of carbs when your fridge could be your blood sugar's best friend? But wait, it gets even better. What if you could supercharge this effect with just one simple ingredient? What if a single teaspoon of fat could shield your blood sugar even more? Stick with me, because in the next section, I'm revealing the fat trick that makes every bite safer, smarter, and sweeter for your blood sugar. You won't believe how easy it is. 2. The fat shield. As I said, temperature changes starch and that changes everything. But cooling is only part of the puzzle. Let's take this a step further. What if the way you combine your food could decide whether you spike or stay stable? This is where fat becomes your secret weapon. I know fats have a bad reputation. We've been warned against them for decades. But when you use the right kind of fat in the right amount, it can actually protect you. When you eat carbohydrates alone, what I call naked carbs, they hit your bloodstream too fast. That's what causes that rapid glucose surge and the mood crashes that follow. But when you add fat to the mix, everything changes. Fat slows digestion. It helps delay the breakdown of starch into sugar, giving your body time to process it gradually. No more roller coasters. No more post-meal crashes. Just smooth, steady energy. So, what does that look like on your plate? Add a spoonful of olive oil to your roasted potatoes. Stir a bit of coconut oil into your hot rice. Pair your bread with some avocado or nut butter. Even a dab of real butter on your toast can help. Tiny changes, big difference. This isn't a fad. It's the fastest way for people with diabetes over 50 to reclaim their meals with confidence. No gimmicks, just real food used wisely. If you're finding this valuable, Don't just watch silently. Hit that subscribe button right now. I post videos like this every week to help you live better with diabetes, not just survive, but thrive. Now, we've talked about what to do before and during your meals. But what about after? What if I told you there's a simple action, less than 15 minutes long, that can drastically reduce your blood sugar right after eating? In the next section, I'll reveal the most overlooked step in blood sugar control, and it might just be the easiest one yet. Don't miss it. 3. Move after meals. There's something incredibly powerful about what you do right after you eat. It might seem small, almost forgettable, but the minutes following your last bite can be the difference between blood sugar balance and chaos. You've been careful with your carbs. You've added healthy fats. But here's where the real shift happens. If you move, and I'm not talking about intense workouts or breaking a sweat, I'm talking about something so gentle, so doable, it feels almost too easy. But it works. In 2023, researchers at the University of Limerick compiled data from 7 separate studies and found that walking for just 2 to 5 minutes after eating was enough to lower post-meal blood glucose by an average of 17 to 20 milligrams per deciliter. That's not a minor drop. That's a metabolic reset. It's like flipping a switch that tells your body, I've got this under control. What's even more compelling is that these benefits aren't limited to long walks. Simply standing up and moving around for a few minutes, doing the dishes, pacing while on a phone call, folding laundry, can shift how your body handles the sugar in your blood. You see, when your muscles are in motion, they act like sponges. They draw in glucose without needing permission from insulin. And that's especially powerful if your insulin sensitivity is already compromised, as it often is after 50. In those minutes after you eat, your body isn't just digesting food, it's deciding what to do with it. And you get to influence that decision. So the next time you finish a meal, don't collapse on the couch. Don't stay stuck in your chair scrolling. Stand up, take a few steps, let your body help you. Because sometimes the most powerful medicine doesn't come in a bottle. Sometimes it's just movement. Gentle, intentional, timed just right. It might be the most overlooked tool you've ever had. 4. Nature's allies, the quiet companions. After meals and movement comes something more intimate, quiet, and personal. It happens in the space between bites and sips, where the ancient meets the everyday. Because sometimes healing isn't loud. It isn't instant. It's in the teaspoon of spice, the sip of something bitter, the seed that swells in water. And these things, these nature's allies, have been with us for centuries. We've just forgotten how to invite them in again. Let me show you how. Start your day with cinnamon. Sprinkle a half teaspoon into your morning oatmeal or mix it into plain Greek yogurt with berries. You're not just adding flavor, you're smoothing out your fasting blood sugar before the day even begins. Studies show this one habit can lower fasting glucose by up to 24 milligrams per deciliter. Midday, turn to ginger. Add freshly grated ginger to a light vegetable stir-fry or brew it into a warm tea after lunch. It calms the stomach, soothes inflammation, and according to clinical trials, can improve both A1C and insulin sensitivity. With dinner, sip elderberry juice. Just 1 to 2 ounces with your evening meal, cold or gently warmed, is enough. A recent US study found this single habit helped reduce glucose levels by 24% in just 1 week. Let your dinner end not with a soda or wine, but with something that serves you. Before bed, take Gymnema sylvestra. A 400 milligrams capsule 30 minutes after your last meal can help suppress nighttime sugar cravings and quietly, powerfully block sugar absorption. And for those looking to mimic the power of a prescription, take berberine, 500 milligrams before lunch and dinner. Think of it as nature's version of metformin, a compound that is as grounded and deeply studied as any. Finally, chia seeds can be stirred into a bedtime drink, like unsweetened almond milk with a pinch of cinnamon and stevia, and left to gel. You wake up with something that fills you, fuels you, and steadies your blood sugar without ever needing a prescription. Each of these allies works in its own rhythm, at its own time of day. They don't compete, they complement each other. Together, they form a quiet rhythm of healing that supports every stage of your day without overwhelming you. Have you welcomed any of these allies into your meals yet? I'd love to know. Drop a comment below and share how you're using nature to take back control. Your story could spark someone else's new beginning. 5. The truth about healthy foods. What if I told you some foods that wear the healthy label may actually be working against you? Yes, even the ones in the so-called diabetic-friendly aisle. And even more shockingly, some of them are likely in your kitchen right now. Have you ever wondered why your blood sugar spikes after eating a whole grain cereal? Or why that gluten-free bread leaves you feeling foggy and drained? What about that freshly squeezed orange juice that's supposed to be packed with vitamins? Let me tell you what happened to me. Years ago, before I truly understood blood sugar dynamics, I started my day with what I thought was the perfect breakfast. A healthy green smoothie made with bananas, mangoes, spinach, and a splash of orange juice. It was organic, low-fat, plant-based, everything the label promised. But what happened next shocked me. Within 45 minutes, my blood sugar spiked to 238 milligrams per deciliter. I hadn't eaten cake, cookies, or soda. I had followed what the wellness world told me was healthy, and yet my body reacted like I had just inhaled a donut and a milkshake. That morning changed everything. It taught me that labels lie, marketing manipulates, and sometimes the most dangerous foods are the ones we trust the most. That's why understanding the fastest way for people over 50 with diabetes isn't just about what you add. It's also about what you must quietly remove. In the next section, I'll expose the 5 foods that seem healthy, even helpful, but are silently sabotaging your blood sugar every single day. What if one of them is on your plate right now? Stay with me. This next part might be the most important of all. 5 healthy foods that secretly sabotage your blood sugar. You're trying your best. You read every label. You choose what sounds right. Whole grain, low fat, diabetic friendly. But sometimes the things we trust most are the ones that quietly betray us. And if you're over 50, living with diabetes, these small mistakes don't just add up, they multiply. I've seen it time and time again, and I've lived it too. Take whole grain cereal. It sounds harmless, even helpful, but behind the heart-healthy claims is a bowl of processed grains that break down fast and hard. Add milk, and in under an hour, your blood sugar might soar 50, even 80 points. That's not breakfast, that's biochemical chaos. And then there's gluten-free bread. I once swapped my usual toast for a gluten-free version, thinking I was making a smart move. What I didn't know is that many of these breads are built on tapioca, potato starch, and refined flours that hit your bloodstream like a freight train. The label said, clean, but my glucose monitor said otherwise. Fruit smoothies. I used to start every day with one. Mango, banana, orange juice, all natural, right? But within 30 minutes, my blood sugar shot up to 240. That green smoothie wasn't helping, it was hijacking me. Low-fat yogurt sounds smart until you read the fine print. Hidden sugars, syrups, and artificial sweeteners turn it into dessert. And those granola bars, they're often just candy bars with a gym membership. Even keto-labeled snacks often spike sensitive individuals due to sugar alcohols or tricky carb fillers. And yet, these are the foods we've been told are good for us. But here's what I've learned. Blood sugar doesn't care what the package says. It only responds to what's real. When I began replacing these silent saboteurs, swapping cereal for oats, smoothies for greens and chia, and low-fat yogurt for full-fat Greek yogurt, I started to feel different. Clearer, calmer, and more in control. That shift became one of the fastest ways for people over 50 with diabetes to break free from the cycle of confusion and false hope. Because managing diabetes isn't just about what you eat, it's about unlearning what you thought was safe. Now that you know, what will you choose? In our final part, we'll bring it all together. Everything you've learned, resistant starch, fat timing, movement, nature's support, smart swaps, will become a daily rhythm. One that actually works for you. Let's finish this journey strong. 7. The daily rhythm. Managing diabetes after 50 isn't just about avoiding sugar or counting carbs. It's about understanding how your body responds to food, movement, and even the timing of your day. The science is clear. When you align your daily habits with how your metabolism actually works, you create results that last. So, let's bring it all together. Start your day by stabilizing your fasting glucose. A breakfast with resistant starch, like reheated rice or cooled oats, and a dash of cinnamon can help you avoid early morning spikes. Pair it with a healthy fat or protein, and you've already slowed the sugar response before your day even begins. Mid-morning or before lunch, a short walk can significantly improve insulin sensitivity. In fact, studies show just 10 minutes of walking after meals can reduce post-meal glucose levels by up to 20 milligrams per deciliter. Movement isn't just exercise, it's metabolic medicine. At lunch, eat your vegetables first, then your protein, and save your starch for last. This simple order of eating reduces how quickly glucose enters your bloodstream. And if you include vinegar or lemon juice with your salad, you can enhance that effect even more. Throughout the day, consider nature's allies. Berberine before meals, chia at night, ginger or gymnema after dinner. These compounds support your system in quiet, steady ways, amplifying your body's natural ability to regulate blood sugar. And most importantly, cut through the noise. Forget healthy trends that sabotage you. Choose real food prepared in ways that support, not challenge, your glucose balance. In the end, this is the fastest way for people over 50 with diabetes to live better. Not through willpower alone, but through science applied with wisdom and care. Because managing your blood sugar isn't about perfection, it's about pattern. A daily rhythm that honors both your biology and your life. Now that you have the tools, what kind of day will you create tomorrow? If this journey has helped you see your diabetes in a new light, if you've learned something that challenged what you once believed, then I want to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments. What surprised you? What are you going to try first? Your experience might just be the key that unlocks someone else's progress. And if this content speaks to you, subscribe. There's more to come. Real strategies, real science, no hype, just tools that work for real lives, especially for those of us navigating life after 50. Here's the truth. Diabetes doesn't go away, but it can be managed quietly, powerfully, sustainably. Not with fad diets, not with restriction or shame, but with rhythm, with understanding, and with actions that make sense, not just in theory, but in real kitchens, real routines, and real bodies like yours. You don't need to do everything at once. You just need to begin consistently, intentionally, and with knowledge that actually works for you. This is the science of living well, and now you're holding it in your hands.